You've probably heard the term marketing strategy before, but what is a marketing strategy anyway? It's kind of a vague term, right? Today, I'm going to break it down. What does it actually look like, and how do you get from point A to point B in your jewelry business? I'm Larissa Werstiak, and for the last 8 years, my women-run marketing agency, Joya, has been helping jewelry brands thrive. I'm here to help you toss aside the one-size-fits-all playbook and create a unique marketing strategy so your brand can shine in a sea of sparkle. All right, let's jump in, sparklers. So strategy can sound as mysterious as those corporate buzzwords we all kind of hate, like synergy. In simpler terms, a marketing strategy is your brand's compass for finding the right customers, sharing your unique story, and ultimately boosting sales and loyalty. It's your guiding light. And fortunately or unfortunately, you as the business owner and visionary are uniquely qualified to create it. Sure, we're all marketing something, but jewelry is ultra visual, emotionally driven, and often considered a big investment because it's not an everyday essential purchase for most people. That's why your strategy must highlight sparkle, sentiment, and trust, 3 elements that make jewelry special, but also require a carefully thought out approach. Here's why you need a strategy even if you're quote unquote just a creative. If you'd rather be at your bench all day designing and making jewelry, you might balk at the idea of strategic planning. But that very reluctance is what can hold your business back. When you have a strategy, you gain consistency in your brand message. So instead of crafting random posts or promotions on a whim, a strategy ensures that your storytelling, visuals, and messaging line up seamlessly across every platform. Customers know what to expect from you, recognize your brand more quickly, and develop a strong emotional connection. Number 2, efficiency in budgeting. Marketing can really eat up resources fast if you're not sure where you're heading. A strategy helps you spend wisely by directing funds and your energy to the channels that actually resonate with your ideal audience. No more guesswork or expensive ads that yield little return. And number 3, clarity in reaching your ideal customers. Without clarity, you're just broadcasting to the world without really connecting. A focused strategy pinpoints your target audience, those most likely to appreciate your jewelry, and helps you tailor your messaging in a way that speaks directly to them. All right, I'm sure you get it, but what are the tangible results here? The benefits go far beyond just feeling organized. When you have that plan of action, you're gonna run fewer but more impactful marketing campaigns. You're gonna cut out wasted spending on initiatives that don't align. And best of all, you're gonna free up more time to do what you love and what you're supposed to be doing, designing and selling jewelry, because your marketing tasks then become streamlined. We see this happen every day with our clients. Take, for example, the jewelry brand that let us develop a social media strategy for them, and within just 1 month, we doubled their reach and boosted engagement, all while cutting the amount of content they were posting in half. Yes, that might sound like it's some kind of crazy magic, but it's really just about analyzing data, assessing that brand's unique strengths, clarifying the goals that we're trying to achieve with, in this case, social media, and then taking a measured, systematic approach forward. When you have that well-defined strategy, you're not just doing marketing, you're shaping your brand story, connecting with the right customers, and setting yourself up for sustainable growth. So where exactly do you start? I like to begin with what's known as the SWOT. When I'm trying to figure out a strategy, from a holistic marketing approach to even an approach for a single channel like email, my go-to starting point is the classic SWOT analysis. I know it sounds old school, but trust me, this is a simple and powerful tool, and it helps ensure that you're not starting with a blank page and wondering, where am I even supposed to begin? So if you're not familiar with SWOT, it stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. You'll want to break down each of these for whatever you're trying to improve or refine in your marketing. Here's how it works. Strengths. Ask yourself, and again, this is particular to either a channel or all your marketing efforts. What am I really good at? Which aspects of my business are truly stand out? Think about things like your brand identity, your loyal customer base, your unique design style, etc. For weaknesses, you're going to ask, where am I falling short and what keeps holding me back? This part, admittedly, can be tough, but the brutal honesty here will set you free. If you're not sure, then even the uncertainty itself can be labeled a weakness or a blind spot, because sometimes we do need an outside perspective from a mentor, a trusted friend, or a consultant to help us see what we can't see ourselves. For opportunities, you're going to ask yourself, what external factors could help me thrive and where can I grow? These could be maybe new trends in jewelry design, maybe emerging social media platforms, a shift in customer preferences, or an upcoming holiday season that you've never really tried marketing for before. And lastly, for threats, you're going to ask, what's out there that could potentially hurt my progress and what do I need to watch out for? Like competitor moves, rising material costs, changes in social media algorithms, or economic uncertainties. Again, as I mentioned, if you're doing this for your entire marketing strategy, you'd go through the SWOT for each channel, like your website, email, social media, events. And if you're honing in on just one area, like email or social, for example, then you do a deep dive and ask those questions for the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats specific to that channel. My pro tip is don't be shy about labeling something as a weakness just because it's an unknown. If you don't know your average email open rates, for example, or you've never tracked your website's bounce rate, that is a weakness. It means you're missing data, and that's essential for improvement. So why is the SWOT so useful in helping you get to the action part of the strategy? The beauty of it is that it kind of naturally sparks ideas for next steps as you're working through it. For every identified weakness, you're gonna start thinking, wait a minute, how can I fix this? For every opportunity, you'll note, oh yeah, that's right, I should explore this further because it's probably been rattling around your brain for a long time anyway. And by the end of this, you should have a list of tactical items to move forward with, and you really want to prioritize them according to their impact on your business. So here's a quick example. Imagine that you're focused on email marketing for your jewelry brand. So here's a mini SWOT and how it could look. Strengths. You have a modest but engaged email list of loyal customers, your brand storytelling is compelling, and you've received positive responses to past newsletters. Weaknesses. You haven't segmented your list so everyone gets the same content no matter their preferences, and your email designs are inconsistent and don't always highlight your best product photos. Opportunities. You can create targeted campaigns for wedding jewelry shoppers, holiday gift givers, or fashionistas, and there's a growing trend of personalized email experiences. So maybe you can add things that boost engagement and make the emails feel more tailored to your subscribers. Threats. Competitors are sometimes offering exclusive discounts and perks for their subscribers, which could draw your audience away from you and over to them. And also changing email platform rules and regulations might make it harder for you to land in people's inboxes. From this very quick and dirty analysis, you can probably see some action items that are starting to emerge. Segment your email list. Refresh your email templates. Explore incentives that you can offer to keep your subscribers interested. Stay up to date on email best practices so that you don't get lost in spam. This framework probably looks super basic at first glance, but I really think it's the ultimate starting line for mapping out a marketing strategy that's both realistic, focused, and action-oriented. And once you complete it, you'll have a much clearer view of how to move forward. No more wandering around in marketing limbo. Okay, so I've spent all this time talking about SWOT. Where's the strategy? So let's get into the core elements of a jewelry marketing strategy. We're going to zoom out and we're going to look at your entire marketing strategy as one holistic ecosystem. That means thinking about all your channels, your platforms, your messaging, how they work or maybe don't work together to support your goals. And when you pull back and really see the full picture for what it is, these are the core elements you'll want to be considering. Your brand identity and your positioning. So this is the DNA of your business, how you're presenting your unique vibe, style, core values. Are you boho chic with a handcrafted flair, or do you cater to high-end wedding jewelry clients? Connecting that to your SWOT. So if your strengths have a strong, distinct visual style or compelling backstory, shine the spotlight on those in your visual brand identity. The next element would be target audience and persona. This is the specific group of people most likely to value your jewelry. So it goes beyond just demographics, but their lifestyles, their interests, and the emotional triggers for why they buy. Connecting it to your SWOT, if there's an opportunity to tap into a new demographic or a trend, refine your personas to address that as one example. The third element would be your storytelling and messaging. So how do you convey the emotional why behind each piece? Jewelry is often a sentiment-driven purchase, so your story and your messaging are powerful tools. If a strength of yours is your unique craftsmanship or personal origin story, weave that narrative through your website, social media, and packaging. And the last element of a strategy that I'm going to talk about today is obviously your marketing channels. All the platforms and methods you're using to reach and communicate with your audience. Maybe that's Instagram, TikTok, your website, email campaigns, in-person events. If your strength is that you already have a loyal Instagram following, then double down on that. Maybe that means getting more creative with reels or posting more stories, especially authentic, personal, behind-the-scenes content. Think of all these elements as puzzle pieces in this big strategy that you're trying to put together. Each one fits with the others to create this complete picture of your marketing ecosystem. Approach them holistically rather than trying to optimize each piece in isolation, and you'll be well on your way to a strategy that feels cohesive, purposeful, and authentic to your jewelry brand. Before we wrap up, I want to talk about some common myths and misconceptions about strategy. Myth number 1, marketing strategy is only for big brands. But the reality is, small indie brands need it more than anyone to stand out in the sea of sparkle. Myth 2, I can just post on Instagram when I feel like it, and that's enough. The reality is that inconsistent efforts lead to inconsistent results, and strategy keeps you on track. Myth number 3, strategy will stifle my creativity. The reality is that a clear framework frees up your creative energy because then you know where you're headed and you're not spending all this brain energy on making decisions that aren't based in anything. Your marketing strategy is basically this treasure map for your brand. And with the right plan, you're going to find your ideal customers and watch your business grow. So what do you think? Have you tried mapping out your marketing? Tell me what's working or not working for you.